My dear friends, pull up a chair and sit with me a while. I'm just an old man who's walked a long road, seen a lot of sorrow and a lot of grace, and I want to share with you some of the words that have carried me through it all. These aren't my words, they're the words of Jesus, straight from the Gospels, words that still burn bright after 2,000 years because they come from the very heart of God. Today I want to talk about the most powerful, soul-stirring lines Jesus ever spoke, the ones that lift you when you're low, steady you when you're afraid, and remind you who you really are in the eyes of your Father in heaven. We'll take them slowly, one by one, and I'll tell you what they've meant to this old heart of mine. Let's begin with the invitation that has probably saved more weary souls than any other. Jesus said, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." Oh, how I love those words. I've whispered them in hospital rooms, in the dead of night when sleep wouldn't come, in seasons when the weight of life felt too heavy to carry another step. Jesus isn't shouting from a distance. He's opening his arms. He sees the exhaustion, the worry, the guilt we drag behind us like chains, and he says, "Come." Not "get yourself cleaned up first," not "fix your problems and then I'll help." Just come. I remember a time years ago when I'd lost my wife. The house felt empty, the days felt endless, and I didn't know how to keep going. One evening I sat on the porch with my Bible open, tears blurring the page, and those words jumped out at me. I will give you rest. Not tomorrow, not when everything is sorted out, right now, in the middle of the pain. And somehow, in a way I can't explain, peace settled over me like a warm blanket. He meant it. He still means it. If you're tired tonight, hear him saying it to you. Come to me. Another line that has strengthened me more times than I can count is this: do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more than food, and the body more than clothes? Look at the birds of the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? I chuckle every time I think of Jesus pointing at birds and basically telling us grown people to calm down. But he's right. Worry is a thief. It steals your peace, your sleep, your joy, and Jesus refuses to let it have the final say. I spent years worrying about money, about my children, about tomorrow's troubles. It aged me before my time. Then one spring morning, I was walking through the fields near my home, and those words came back to me. Your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they? I stopped right there in the middle of the path and felt something loosen in my chest. If God clothes the wildflowers and feeds the birds, he sees me. He knows what I need. I don't have to live clenched up in fear. Friend, whatever you're worrying about tonight, your health, your family, your finances, bring it to him. Tell him honestly. He already knows, and he's big enough to carry it. Trust is hard, but it's lighter than worry. I promise you that. Now let's talk about one of the hardest and most beautiful things Jesus ever asked of us. Love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you, that you may be children of your Father in heaven. This one stings, doesn't it? Our natural instinct is to love those who love us back and keep a safe distance from everyone else. But Jesus calls us higher. He lived it. Hanging on the cross, he prayed, "Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they are doing." I've had people hurt me deeply in my life. Betrayal, harsh words, broken trust. For a long time, I carried bitterness like a stone in my pocket. Then one day I read those words again, "Pray for those who persecute you," and I knew the stone had to go. So I started praying for the very people who'd wounded me. Not fancy prayers, simple ones. Lord, bless them, soften their hearts, help them the way you've helped me. It wasn't easy, and it didn't happen overnight, but slowly the bitterness melted, and in its place came a freedom I hadn't known before. Loving your enemies doesn't mean you approve of what they did. It means you release them to God and let Him heal your heart. When you do, you start to look a little more like your Father in heaven, and there's no greater privilege than that. Here's another promise that has kept hope alive in me through every dark season. Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened to you. For everyone who asks receives, the one who seeks finds, and the one who knocks, the door will be opened. Jesus isn't talking about selfish wishes here. He's talking about seeking God Himself, His kingdom, His righteousness. And He promises that if we pursue Him with honest hearts, we will find Him. I've seen this proven over and over. There were years when I felt far from God, like my prayers were bouncing off the ceiling. But I kept asking, kept seeking, kept knocking, sometimes with tears, sometimes with barely any faith at all. And every single time He answered. Maybe not in the way I expected, but always in the way I needed. A verse that suddenly made sense, a friend who called at just the right moment, a quiet assurance in my spirit that I wasn't alone. Don't ever stop praying, dear one. Don't ever stop seeking. The door will open. He is faithful. Let me share one more that has become my anchor as I've grown older. I am the way and the truth and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me. In a world full of opinions and confusion, Jesus doesn't point to a path. He says, I am the path. He doesn't offer a set of ideas. He says, I am the truth. He doesn't promise a better existence. He says, I am the life. I've lived long enough to see every other road lead to a dead end. Success, money, pleasure, approval, they all leave you empty in the end. But Jesus satisfies the deepest longing of the human heart because He is what we were made for. He is the way home to the Father. As I near the end of my own journey here, these words bring me incredible peace. Death is not the end for those who belong to Him. Because He lives, we will live also. Because He is the truth, every promise He made will stand. Because He is the life, nothing, not pain, not loss, not even the grave can separate us from His love. My friends, I don't know where you are tonight. Maybe you're full of faith, maybe you're doubting, maybe you're just tired and searching. Wherever you are, Jesus sees you. He knows your name. He loves you with an everlasting love, and He's speaking these words over you right now. Come to me. Do not worry. Love and forgive. Ask and keep asking. I am the way. Take His words into your heart. Let 'em settle there. Live 'em out, one imperfect day at a time, and you'll find, as I have after all these years, that they are more than words. They are life itself. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May He make His face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May He turn His face toward you and give you peace. Thank you for sitting with this old man tonight. Until we meet again, walk close to Jesus. He's everything He said He is.